In this video, I will explain how our hybrid pension plan works. There are two parts to it. One, it's very easy to understand, and the other one requires a little bit of calculation and estimation. So this will give you roughly a ballpark what you can expect once you retire to receive on a monthly basis. So I'll start this video by giving you definition, what the definition of defined benefit is. And in our case, it is the preset amount of money, which is going to be somewhere around, like, after this contract, around maybe 980 or something like that. And that is the amount you will receive every month. And all the risk lies with the company. So if the stock market is up or down, doesn't matter, you're getting that amount of money, period, right? So as long as the company's business, you're getting that part of money. Now, this amount is based on you being 65 years old and having a 30 years in. So there's something called special allowance. That's if you retire early and you have your 30s, you're 30 years in and you retire before the age of 65, they give you a little bit more. But once you hit 65, they call it back to $980. And how do you come to that number? As you can see here, I'm going to use a simple math. So first 10 years and then rest 20 years. So we're working on 30 and out. Now, as you can tell right here, I'm using a $25.50, which is before the old, that's under the old contract. That's not under the new contract. But to keep the math simple, because I already had 8 years in, so I'm just going to use this number for the full 10 years, right? So if you have a little bit like me, you have 8 years, you're gonna get a couple bucks more for 2 years. But just to keep the math simple, I'm gonna use the old numbers. So you get $25.50 times 10 years served and served in service, and you get a number of $255 a month. For remaining 20 years, you will calculate that on $36.50 per year. So you got $36.50 times 20 years, it's $730. So you add those two together, 255 plus 730, so you're approximately getting $985 per month on your defined benefit portion. And then if you're wondering, once a year when you get that pension update, you can see here that my class code is class A, so it's right on the front page of that where you find your classification. And as you can see on the second page of the same update we get, my number is 985, which is a little bit bigger than the number projected here on the pension company estimate. That's because we got a couple bucks more under this contract. So the next update we get, it should reflect the more money that we received under this contract. Okay, so now that we know how much money we're gonna get from defined benefit portion of the plan, now we need to calculate how much money we're going to be receiving for direct contribution, right? So in order to do that, we have to know a few things. You need to know initial investment, regular additions, rate of return, and time horizon. So for me, I'm looking at the BlackRock index fund 2050. That's where I'm planning to retire in 2050, let's say. So I have about 25 years of horizon. And to get to your initial investment, you're gonna have to log into your Canada Life account, and you're gonna have to find out exactly how much money you have so far. And as you can tell right here, I have $20,736 so far. And also here in the red circles, you can see how much my rate of return is. So I have two things right here, actually three things. So I have how much money initial investment is, I have a rate of return, and I have a time horizon. So the thing that we're going to have to calculate is your regular additions. And that's going to vary from person to person because they calculate that by 85. There's two parts to it, right? So it's 85 cents per every hour that you work, but we are capped at 2080 hours, right? So 2080 hours, when you divide it by 40, that gives you 52 weeks. So if you work 52 weeks full, you get $1,768 per year. That's the company portion of contribution, right? So that's how much money company is going to contribute. So if you log into your pay stub, and you're gonna see right here that it's $60. I have it underlined at the wrong section, but you see above the red line where it says $60, and then you have annual contribution or year to date. So it's $60 per paycheck. So you go $60 times 52 weeks. That gives you $3,120 that comes out of your paycheck every year towards your defined contribution pension plan. So we go 1,768, which is contributed by the company, and you add 3,120, you get to the number of $4,888 for every year. Now that 4,088 is questionable, but let's say it's that number. So to recap, we have an initial investment of $20,736. We got a regular yearly additions of $4,888. You got a rate of the return 6.5%, and your time horizon is 25 years until you retire. Okay, so we're gonna enter these numbers into compound interest calculator. You can find this one on getsmartaboutmoney.ca. If you go right here under the tools and calculators, you'll find the compound interest calculator, so you can play with the numbers yourself. All right, so we're gonna start with the initial number of $20,763. We're gonna add every year $4,888, and this is the big if, but let's say for purpose of this video, let's say it's going to be $4,888. So interest rate is 6.5. It also compounds annually, and time horizon is 25 years. So when you press calculate, you get this number right here, $388,080.49. So if you look right here, average life expectancy in Canada is for the year 2020 is 81 years and 3/4. So let's say for the purpose of this video, we say it's even 20 years, so it's 85, right? So you retire at 65 and then you pass away at 85. That gives you even 20 years. So I'm gonna take right here 388,080, and you're gonna divide it by 20 years. That gives you 19,404 every year. So we're gonna divide that by 12. So it gives you how many per month. So you're looking at $1,617 pre-tax every month. And there we have it. The defined benefit is $985 plus defined contribution of $1,617. So when you add those two together, you get a grand total of $2,602 a month, maybe.